Welcome all to 7 Days of Rest. I thank our hosts, Shelley Ostroff and Jan Golding, who are the co-creators of the 7 Days of Rest. And I welcome you today, tonight, this morning, wherever you may be across the world, to the world of oneness dreaming, to the flow of oneness dreaming with two of my dear, dear brothers, who I greet, Wungu-Jungala Wungu from Warrungu in the rainforest of Queensland, and my brother Dan Atkins, who he has been in the world of sustainability for 20 years, and for the past 7 years has worked as a bridge, bringing cultures and Originee tribes together and with others in grounding and fusing these cultures with technology in the future, and how to do this in the flow of oneness dreaming. And so I'd love to have you share a little bit about your background, Brother Gubil, so that people get a feel if they've never been to Queensland and to the rainforest. I happen to know that, for instance, people know the Amazon and how huge the Amazon is. But what I've learned from you is that the rainforest in Queensland is actually the oldest rainforest on the planet. And there's much beauty and magic that you've shown me from there. And maybe you could share a little bit with us about the rainforest and what we can learn.
Okay. My name is Gubil. That's my bush name. My skin is Jungala. Jungala is from the Western Waters, Western Australia way. So when we go to the Queensland, or they call it, that I am Wungu. Wungu. It's one of the ancient skin laws, because we talk about the moiety. The moiety law is a skin law to the Chukaba dreaming. The Chukaba dreaming is the law that governs this country. For those who've done walkabout ceremonies, they know. And in mine, there's other law brothers, law sisters, mothers, fathers. But in that circle of life, where we sit and we cherish, we look after each other. Everybody has a role to play. No one is left out. How we look after the one, the dreaming of this land that's been held in time. For the original people, when we say the original people, doesn't mean it's usla, it's we-fala. All of us, because we are dreaming in spirit as one. Because this is a planet that we are the guardians of. And we share this space and place and time with each other. Because our energy, we all wish for a brighter future. We know there is a better place in our hearts and minds. So therefore, it comes back to the people of those areas, wherever you may reside in this country or in this planet. You have a duty of care to your inner being, your ancestors. We all come from one place, the Holy Land. This is the Holy Land. Has been said many times over in the big scriptures, big books. You wait for the families from down under to get ready. Well, they say it's down under, but it's reversed back to front, eh? We're family. We share this place in space and time. We rise together. We can feel the pain of each other just by watching TV. So where am I part in the rainforest of far north Queensland? I may sit in a place called Townsville at this time, or Nawagi country that I know, with Wungu-Jungala and the Yuru people. There's a meeting place down this way where I reside. But I am on my father's side on Yuru, where they place Burdekin River, the Ross River. The rivers are, our big boundaries, across these countries. The escarpment, the ranges, certain trees where animals will dwell. There's those boundaries that they will have. With we look about the big red. Well, he go from Western Australia. He don't come here. He don't bounce around down here on the East Coast because we got the Eastern Greys. You see, there's that boundaries that they have within each other. The birds will only go so far. There are the eagles that will fly from here all the way into the centre and fly back again. But there's, stories of all that kind of stuff that's been passed down through time. And you'll only see certain ones that will go so far. And so you got the emus. Emus go where? In the desert plain. When you got the cassowaries are on the coast because they chase different variety of foods, fruits and berries through the rainforest. When we say the ancient forest, well, I'm very lucky to have a place that's been here since time. And that's where I'd say, further up from the tip of Australia, that was all rainforest, all, straight along to Papua New Guinea before everything got cut down and trimmed by the weather itself. It goes all the way down to, it used to go all the way down to Ballina, place near Byron Bay. Ballina was our language, and we come through the rainforest. So we travelled with that water, the wind, the whispering of the trees. You're not alone as you walk through countries, but you understand the terrains and the boundaries that are there. Because the animals will change, everything will change in different. As you go over the next mountain, next rivers, different animals, fish, food, all changes. You're learning as we're getting older, and the knowledge that will be passed on, and the knowledge that you will be in charge with or has been given to you, bestowed upon you. It'll be given to another. It was not for yours to hold, but it's yours to hold now, because others will come along and will have the same spirit fighting for life, like we are now, fighting for the right of life. Humanity, the love that we have for this planet and for the species, the mammals, the animals, the ones that fly, the insects. We just, who are we to say that they haven't got a right of place in this life? They have a role to play. At night now, see, we got more geckos. Geckos, small little things. I see them at night, so I leave the light on for them, so the insects, so they could have their little snacks and all that stuff. And then return, during the daytime. And I talked to them. I said, "Yeah, you let me know if anybody coming." So they will you might make different sounds. So they let you know. You might be sleeping at night, next one you hear him. You go, not like Skippy. What, that Sonny? But yeah, we don't need all this other electricity stuff. You've got dogs who are barking at night. You've got possums that are screaming out and having their little fights, because you got to remember what time of the month they're looking for fighting for food, put out food for them. When I come during the daytime, I have my scrub turkey, or Jurrigan, I call him in my language, Jurrigan. He's got red ear, black, and he goes all the, and like I said, I was down there, scrub turkeys, through the rainforest itself, each of them. But I'm lucky that we've got a couple around here. When things are going to be hard soon, times are going to be tough. Families are going to be torn because of all this stuff that's going on. And with the system that's going on around us, that's trying to divide us. So you don't point fingers. Just have, compassion and not try and understand what's going on. Because no one's had the time to sit down and have a listen to each other. Because at the end of the story, we all got pain. But pain can't be measured. Pain only can be told. And only the individual itself will be measured. The pain of that person telling you and thanking you after. Giving them time to share that story with you. I've been walking around the streets all day and no one's ever sat down and listened to me. That's all you wanted. Take that time out. Don't be governed by the clock. You can catch the next bus. Don't worry about catching it on time. There's a reason why this person is pulling you up and you stop and you could feel that person out. All right, I'll sit down and listen. Take that time out for your humanity, for your human spirit. They're reaching out and asking you, hey, can you listen to me? You're flesh and blood. It's not to color you. Show love and compassion. Be. Start being a human. You're not a robot. When we all fall over, we feel pain. Have compassion here. Put your hand out. Help them up. Rise. We watch children. We all remember, doesn't matter what color a child is, what nationality. Gee, they remind us when I was running around like that. They bring the joy in you and you smile and you're happy. That's the thing that makes us one. Within that split time of a moment, it takes you back. I used to do that. So you look forward for the next generation of yourselves, your own generation, taking you back. But you must protect life. Look after our young ones. Look after our old ones. Because we are the protectors here. We know what's right and wrong. We've just got to stand up and do what's right.
So I hear what you're saying is that in the busyness of life around us, sometimes there are things that interrupt our day and we think we have to move past them and keep hurrying to finish what we started out. And you're saying those are reminders from spirit to stop, to listen. There might be a person next to you that needs your attention, or an animal or an insect or something that's flying by, but those are actually not, as we often think, reminders to move faster and get it done, but to stop and listen. I keep hearing you speak of listening in the moment, listening to nature and listening to those around you who have not been heard. And this.
Yeah, like, walking down the road and about to go around the corner, an insect hits me in the eye and a bang. Oh, stopped. But if I'd have kept going, I'd have run into that bloke riding on a bike. How funny is that? We're just walking around the corner next to the insect goes whack, hits me. So I automatically stop, open my eyes, the next one bike goes straight bang. So if I were doing the same steps, bang, I would have got collected and I would have collected him. So insect came in and stopped that collision. But it didn't, insect was okay still. It was just those things, we don't look at it like that. There are things that are out there watching over us all. We just got to be in tune. Your rhythm, your vibration.
you also talk about transcending the grief. And I think if you could speak a little more to that, because people are carrying grief and trauma, not just of their own, but of their ancestors. And that grief and trauma weighs you down and give others power over you. You lose your power. So when I hear my Originee friends talk about transcending that grief into love, into oneness dreaming, it's transmuting that energy. And it's beautiful to see how you live in that place. Maybe you could speak a little more to that.
Well, the person that's holding the anger and angry with you is, why? You got to understand what do you do that reminds them what I've done is reflection of a person that they don't like. But I do this, not knowing why the person is angry with you, angry with me. I said, well, what's going on, mate? I've done nothing to you. No, you remind me of something that my person who used to do so much to me and hurt me in a great, great, great way, pain, that you hold that within, the reflection. You've got to remember the person in front of you isn't that person. That you didn't have time to really tell that person who was giving you the bleed and hiding, stop it. But this other person, I can reflect that energy. And I said, here, just sit down and tell me now. I don't hate you. I hate the things that you do that remind me of someone in my past. When you come to terms with it and look at the person that's for you, isn't that hater? It's just that thing that ticks you off within inside you that reminds you of that person you didn't get along with in your time and present in your past. That you remind them of them now here. So let go of that and understand that here. Once you can identify the problem, you can see within you, you are counseling yourself. No one, when you go to a counselor only can help you to a certain part, but it's you who's got to cross that bridge, not him or her. Because it's your journey to healing, not his or her, but you identifying what your problem is, what feels and hurts you. This world can get so judgmental on things that they may not really know of, but sometimes people join the bandwagon because they feel safety in numbers. But that's following the herd. Stand alone, find your inner strength. Believe it or not, you may stop, but the herd is looking at you and they're worried about you. When you're traveling in a mob, we let that person sit behind for a bit. But we haven't forgotten. We let you sit back, let you get your energy back, get your thoughts. I'll hurry up again. I'm a part of the mob, but right now I got to. My energy's not in time. I'm not in tune with you. Just let me take my time and space, get my energy back. Because I'm trying to get up with you guys, but I'm not there. I've got to build up towards that rhythm stage of that, so I could be full strength with you. So when we're working as this team, the spiritual being team, we're all spiritual beings, but not all of us are going to be, I wish I was right there now. It's not about the wishing. It's the knowing you are already a part of that team. I'm not asking you to jump up there straight away. Hey, everywhere's awake. We awake early, we awake late. But when the veils are lifted, from your eyes, because your heart has always been there. When you see your family, I am with you, even though I am not there with you. My energy moves through time. That's it. Once you know that, the part is you understanding your instruments that you have. You are valued. You're not left behind. Your families, you know, we already may be there. And there's some of them have already been sitting there waiting for the rest of the mob to come. And I'm carpet snake, carpet snake dreaming, you know, we come through slowly, but I move last to make sure you fellas are already there. I
Could
come
you
last.
could you speak to that? I know that all my Originee friends have different animal totems that they are one with, that guide their life. And you just mentioned carpet snake dreaming, but I would love for you to explain your relationship with carpet snake and how you find guidance through your connection.
I suppose in this sense you would actually, you know, everybody will move fast. Carpet snakes sits there and watch everybody. What's going on, you know? You know, he's ready. Yeah, they ready. Well, them fellas already gone. They're about to go, them fellas, yeah. But they look, he not ready yet. It's all right. But I already sent them other fellas ahead first, you know. I'm just watching for them. I just got to wait for them. Because you know, this is your flock. I make sure all my family's there on that journey. I could be gone, but you need your family or your spiritual family around you to give you strength and direction. If not, you know, I wouldn't be. I'm the last of the bunch, you know. Get out of bed late, early to rise for Warrungu. It's your call, but you make sure your family's ready first. You know, I wouldn't say I don't want to be no leader of no pack. There's no pack in it. It's just a circle. You know, we all put our hands up. Our energy is moved to the sky. Let our energy go. Raise your raise your heart, raise your vibration of you as you reach towards the stars. We can feel you. We haven't lost sight, and you haven't lost sight. We can hear you. You can hear us. It's time for everybody and you know, because even our animals around us, you stop, they look at you. They know. Because you're saving them too. You are their voice. Those birds, those insects. Don't forget, you are their voice of this lifetime. So, you know, man was supposed to protect life. Don't forget things that crawl,
Indeed.
flies, you know. You have the right, you have the right to stand up for the animals, the insects, the lives. But we've got to do what's right. There's no book about what's right and wrong. There are those books that dictate what should be done in right and wrong. But you have to walk those lifetimes of experiences, listen to your elders. Don't forget them. They're the actual book of life. And the things that they give you, like I said, always said, you know, you got to get to their age.
Something
know,
that sorry, go ahead.
you're right. Well,
Something that you and my other Originee relatives speak of often is your connection to your ancestors. And you speak in a way that those of the Western mind don't. You know, it's an ancestor is a person in the past generation and they have a history. But what I've learned is about actively listening in the present day to your ancestors and remembering how their life and the dust of their life is in the clouds and in the wind and in the soil, and they still have messages. And I've learned so much from working with my Originee relatives about how to listen to your ancestors and the thoughts of how to become a good ancestor. So I don't know if there's anything you can share about to people who've never really thought about listening to their ancestors today in real life, in present life.
I mean, when I was saying that, listening is probably the biggest part, but what are you listening for? What are you listening to? The things that will resonate with you, there'll be different things that I resonate with that you may not resonate with, but you can listen to them, but that doesn't mean that you're going to get answers. You can come and listen to this music, come listen to this water, come listen to the trees, walk through the forest, come walk on the, through the desert, walk on, on the mountains, listen to the rocks. Here he's talking to you. Come sit down here, say, look out. What does he want me to look at? He said, sit. I'd look on them, sat on the mountain, I'd walk up the hill, saying good morning to everything. Oh, go and sit over there on the rock. So, all right, then I'll go and sit down. Then I look out to sea. What's he showing me? They showing. So the spirits that dwell on top of this rock around here, the old people here. And you could look across way out to sea and you could see what was designed in the ocean. When the tides were going out, you see a design, and all that sort of stuff. If you have a look at certain times when they do a fire, you see designs in the land, the mountains, the patterns. That's all. And it's where you fit. Only you can do that. And when your connection with your old people, where does they come from? Because the one that you see here before you, the one that you come from, is a different ancestor again. You see, for your mother, yeah, but I'm from the old ones. Because, in the circle of life, remember? One will leave, another will come in. But you got to remember what cycle of the world, if you're introducing different bloodlines to your mob circle, well, you got to look at that circle that came in. He might from across the waters way over from the snow country, and yet he lives in this country. I'm born in this country, but my spirit come from way back over that way. Because I died over there, but I'll be born here again. And that's what we, yes, I have these, DNAs, lineages. I'll go through the islands when I look back. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. But when I look at my mob, where I've just resided through the rainforest and in this part of country all the time, Oh, well. But yet I like swimming in the ocean. Yet then I had to look at ask my father. He said, "Yeah, you look at that, you go back that way through the islands." So I didn't know that. Mum and our family were pretty much based on mum's side. They stayed on country. walk the land. Okay? So understand your spirit walk is through your ancestors. Which ancestor do you remind of? It's not about the color. It's the spirit. You play this game or team you're a part of. It's a spiritual team.
Wow. Wow. What a beautiful, beautiful note to shift from. And something that you said was energy moves through time, and which is so profound and really important to remember, because that's how we hear our ancestors. Their energy still exists today. It moves through time. And as you keep saying, when we listen, deeply listen, we will hear. All you have to do is ask, you're saying, and be really intentional about listening, and the messages will come through. And I know that our brother Dan has been listening for 7 years to all the wisdom from his brother Gubil and other tribal brothers that he has, and has his own version here of his oneness dreaming. So I'm going to invite him into the conversation with you, Gubil, and hey, Dan. So
Hey.
welcome. You two have, these two here are like real brothers. They really have an amazing relationship, and I've learned much from each of them individually, and together they're exponentially greater than the sum of their parts, if you will. So any thoughts, Dan, on oneness dreaming?
Yeah, well, coming back to the theme, I suppose, of the 7 days of rest, and how that may facilitate what the entry point for us in the stillness, to be able to connect in deeper to what is around us. And I think that connection to nature, and the more we one of the beautiful ways is they call it as, you're close, Dan, but you've been meditating with your eyes closed. You're missing it all. It's here. It's live and direct. And so it shifted my awareness and attention to be in a meditative state, and to with nature and the communion, and how we look at all the language and what's the essence behind these words of, the union, the connection, and it's all there as clues, and help us to reconnect into and remember what's may have been lost in our lines of history and our ancestry. And I suppose coming into connecting into the oldest culture in the world, and allow that stillness to be able to be open to be receiving more wisdom, opening our sphere up to be able to connect in deeper to the animals and to the plants, to each other. And I think that's the time of connection, and I'm really pleased to be walking this journey and with our brothers and sisters, and that keeps us in a high vibration. We're very fortunate here in the rainforest to be just surrounded by really high energy, and keeps us in high energy. So appreciate other people may not have the opportunity to be able to be in such a beautiful, wonderful place, and we'd just like to share this energy and this beautiful time, and wish everyone a happy new year. And it's going to be exciting as we come together in unity, and unity creates community, and we have much to learn from each other. And it's the two-way learning, I feel, is the essence for me of 2022, is the openness to Nabaji is to be able to listen, and then to be able to be heard. So I feel this, the healing, the listening, and we'll be able to move forward in that oneness in a beautiful way together. So thank you for your work that you're playing, Janice, and Gubil. It's going to be a great year again to walk the path with you, and enjoy the rest. And I think the key really for me, the message of the year with that two-way learning is really find what's in our heart. It's what makes us happy. What are we here for? It's the time for us to shine what we're here for, and be empowering and supporting each other. And everyone's got a component to add. And that's the beautifulness of the oneness dreaming, all colors coming together. It takes all colors to make a rainbow. And so if you're missing a color and someone comes in and has got that color, well, you celebrate the diversity, you celebrate what that brings to the group, and that's exciting times. And Australia seems to be where it's really consolidating at the moment. We've come from all different parts of the world to be here, and Gubil holds a beautiful part in his heart and welcoming people from all different colors. And it's the spirit that runs strong. And so our spirit family is coming together, and I'm blessed to be here on this journey. So thank you.
And as you said, Gubil, look, she disappeared. As you said, Gubil, energy goes across time, and we are a spirit family, and that we can support each other whether we're next to each other or not. And I think it's important to remember what you just said, Dan, that find the joy within yourself, find what makes your heart sing. And if you do that, you will make others' hearts sing just by your presence and your energetic field, which walks before you. And for me, one of the important things, since I have no children of my own, is I really strive to be a good ancestor. So you all make me a better person by letting me hang out with you. And for all of you who have taken the time to watch us journey together in oneness streaming, we invite you into the oneness streaming because it belongs to all of us and there's room for all. And open your mind, open your heart, and let your light shine. And blessings and miracles to all in 2022. The world, there's more of us than them. And as long as we let our light shine and find our joy, we will move forward in a beautiful and righteous way. Blessings to all. Take care. We'll see you again.
Take care. Peace.
Peace.
Love be the journey.
Yes.